Hey, this is Chris with Ugly.Teacher.Hiking. Today we're going to look at a stove I should have bought a long time ago. It's the Trangia Spirit Burner. Let's talk about it. Ugly.Teacher.Hiking. I hike it so you don't have to. Let's get started on this. This is the Trangia Spirit Burner. I should have bought this a long time ago. It's one of the classics. Bought this from Amazon. The packaging is pretty standard. It has all the regular information, the barcode from Amazon. That was interesting unboxing this because they do something a little different than most companies do. They put the Spirit Burner in a bag. Stick this out and then we'll take a peek at the bag. It's got directions in different languages. It talks about the other added accessories. Here's it in English. So let's put that up for a moment. Let's look at the Spirit Burner itself. This is classic. I've been wanting this for a long time. I'm excited, really excited. One thing I do have a question, if anyone out there can answer, why are these two different tones? Two different tones, two different colors. I was really thinking it would be the same color, but it's not used, so. But we have three different parts here. We got the Spirit Burner, we got the simmer ring, and we got the lid. Those are three parts to this Trangia stove. Let's look at the simmer ring first, because this is the first thing that comes off. Simmer ring, you can open this up and allows flame to come through there. Close it. I wish they had like a little lever out like some of them do, but this is tried and true. Then the next thing we have down is the lid. On the lid, it's a little tough to see. It's basically the warning for using an alcohol stove. Great thing about this, it has a gasket on the inside. So you could store your denatured alcohol. Then we have the alcohol burner itself. We got one row of holes to allow the flames to come out. No markings on the inside to tell you how many ounces are in here, but that's pretty standard. Here we can see where, if you look on the bottom, the T, you can see where the fuel will leak into the sides, and you can just see the wick, wicking material on the inside there. It's tough to see in the film. It's got some weight to it. Oh, I'm just so excited. I've been waiting for a Trangia for a long time. So let's look at the dimensions of this Trangia Spirit Burner. Let's start from our diameter. That gets us 2.94 inches or 74.8. Let's go for the height. From the bottom to the top, 1.81 inches, 46.2 millimeters. All right, so let's disassemble this. Now, just keep in mind, you're going to need some kind of pot stand to put on top of this so you can use this to cook hot water or whatever you're going to use it for. So right here, 1.65 inches, 42.2 millimeters. Simmering's not going to add that much to it. If you put this on top, it snuffs out the flame. Open this up, it allows you to simmer. Once the stove cools off, you can put the lid back on if it has some fuel in there. Now, I have heard that sometimes these can leak off the seams on the sides, so just be careful. I wouldn't rely on this staying totally leak-proof in your pack. I would always put it back in that yellow plastic bag that it came in. All right, let's look at the weight. So we're going to look at the weight on this Trangia Spirit Burner. First, we're going to look at it as a complete unit with everything here. That gets us 3.9 ounces. Let's just recheck that. 4 ounces. Let's check it one more time. Looks like 3.9 ounces. 3.9 ounces. Let's do it without the lid or the simmer ring on it. It's just a spirit burner, which is 2.3 ounces, 2.3 ounces. Now, typically you would use the spirit burner on it if you're trying to simmer something. That is 3.2 ounces, 3.2 ounces. As usual, I'll put grams in there as well. And let's just see it with the screw-on lid. With the spirit burner and just screw-on lid, it's 3.1 ounces, 3.1 ounces. So we're going to give this spirit burner a try. All right, let's take a look at the Trangia Spirit Burner. I have it in my typical camping mug. Pot grabber, rag, and my Trangia Spirit Burner. And lighter on the bottom. Can't believe I waited so long to get one of these. The Trangia is just a classic. We're also going to be using my Ugly.Teacher titanium stand for it. And we have our usual Tokes 550 ultralight. So we got the stove itself. Trangia is great. Has some weight to it. Take off the simmer ring. take off the lid. Always check to make sure the gasket's there. You know it's original when it has that big old T at the bottom. Remember what I said about this originally with the stand? Stick with one hand. That way you always have that muscle memory. So that fits on there perfectly. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 ounces of heat and get that poured in here in a moment. All right, so let's pour our 2 ounces of heat here. I'm going to take this, just plop it here, and make it a little more accessible for the moment. I'm going to use my Zippo with a butane lighter in it. You can always tell when it goes, you hear that little pop. When you hear that pop, you know it's going. So let's get this cross stand on there. Put that on there. We're going to add our water. Our 2 cups of water. Our temperature probe, and start. We're at 43 seconds, already at 77 degrees. Here we're trying a different angle. We're at 2 minutes at 91 degrees, and you also notice that I did put the windscreen on there. It's the one specifically made for toques. And if you notice the little cutout here, it fits perfect. So this is the windscreen I've been using. Probably need to get a little higher one for windy days, but today it's perfect. So right now we're at 3 minutes and we just broke 100. So we're cruising along. We're making good time. Today it's a beautiful day out. It's in the mid 60s. In January, it's a little foggy, a little misty out. But beautiful day for this outside. Beautiful day, no wind, which is key. No wind, just beautiful. And we're at 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So right now we're at 5 minutes at 125 degrees. 5 minutes, 125 degrees. I can still feel plenty of heat coming off this. So right now we're at 6.5 minutes. It's going a little slower than I thought it would. We're only at 150 degrees Fahrenheit. I was expecting a little more from a Trangia, especially with all the hype pit. The other stoves we've used have been boiling around 7 minutes, 8 minutes. So we'll see how well this holds up. It's about hitting 7 minutes. So we're at 8 minutes now, 173 degrees. 8 minutes, 173 degrees. We're getting some bubbles forming in there. All right, we just passed 9 minutes. It's 187 degrees. Now I was expecting this to do a lot quicker. The other titanium ones we've used around 7, 8 minutes tops. So, and today is awesome weather out. It's a little humid, so maybe that's affecting it a little, but it's warm out, no wind. Everything's in place the way it should be. So it's not what I was expecting. Usually this thermometer will start boiling at around 203, 204. All right, let's call that around 10:30, 10 minutes, 30 seconds. It began to boil, 10 minutes, 30 seconds. The flame is burning a bright orange or yellow, not the crisp blue like we usually see with some of these stoves. Still burning. I can see a little fuel on the bottom. can still see liquid on the bottom. I'm thinking the wick is wicked up a lot of the fuel and it's going to burn for another minute or two. So we're at 1307 so far. I can still see fluid on the bottom. Definitely getting a long burn time. Not as hot as the other stoves, but a long burn time. We're at 14 minutes. So right now we're at 15 minutes. I can still see fuel in there. This is definitely doing a better job with fuel consumption. It's not eating it up as fast as the other stoves have. But then again, the flame isn't that real bright blue. The flame may not be as intense, but it definitely it's better with the fuel. Maybe we should do the test with 1 ounce instead of 2 ounces. I think the fuel is burning off now. Flame is settling down. I don't see any liquid in there. It should be just burning off what's on the wick. I hear it sputtering. We're going to call it 1717. 1717. Well, it looks like it's fighting a little more. 1717 for burn time, which is great. So before we get to final thoughts, we're going to make our coffee. Today we're going to use the Aero press. I don't feel like I get enough use out of this. I use this for car camping. Aero press is great if you've never used it. It makes pretty decent coffee. I like to use the paper filter as well as the metal filter. So you open it up. I think it makes 12 ounces, 8 to 12 ounces. There. So we're going to take our Nutella bottle that has the coffee and I think it's Ground Canyon with some sweetener. Just pour that in there. Then we take our Tokes cup. Hold this so it doesn't fall over. Give it a quick stir with our Kupilka spoon fork. Put this back on. Take our regular coffee cup that I use for camping. This is where I keep the Tokes mug, goes on the outside of this. Okay, let's see. And then it's just a matter of plunging it down. It's tough to see, but just plunger it away. All right, let's talk about final thoughts on this. Great stove. Can't believe I never got one before this. It's been a couple minutes now. I've been able to make my coffee. It's a little warm still. It doesn't burn as hot as the other stoves we've tested here. It's considerably heavier than the other stove, but it's a beautiful stove, just beautiful. The colors are starting to look the same now that I burned it or used it once. So we're gonna have to use this constantly just to get a feel for it, see how it is. Would I buy this again? Oh yeah, definitely. We have several others we're gonna be looking at soon, so keep that in mind. Make sure you click like and subscribe when you're coming to these videos. Just keep in mind, this is just cursory look. just trying it once. It has to be done over time. So that's what we have to keep considering. This is just our initial look at these. After all that, was it worth it? Yeah. Was it worth our time? Yes. Was it worth us buying it? Yes. Did I do this so you didn't have to? 100%. Did I drink this coffee so you don't have to? Let's see. Ooh, AeroPress. It makes some great coffee. Hope you liked this video. Please click like and subscribe. Remember, I do this so you don't have to. Have a great day.